morning, I'm Bee, and this is my YouTube channel, The Fuzzy Knitting Bee. I thought today we would talk about patterns that would be really cute to knit this summer. I think these patterns will be good ones to wear in the summer and also the warmer parts of the spring and fall. So let's get started. Okay, so a few things before we get started. So first off, I am so sorry if I get anybody's names wrong. I know it's going to happen, so I want to apologize ahead of time. Also, some of these patterns are paid for patterns and some of these patterns are free. So I will let you know which ones are free and which one are paid for. And I have knitted a few of these patterns before, so I will also tell you my opinion on the ones that I have knitted. I also forgot to mention I will look down a few times because I have a list in front of me that has all the patterns on it, as well as my phone that has some more of the other information on it. So to start with, we are going to talk about accessories. So let's get started. Okay, so this first pattern I have actually knitted before. It is a really cute pattern, and I plan to knit it again soon. It is the Amelie Beret by Friday Knits. This pattern cost $4, and it calls for a DK or worsted weight yarn. It calls for 137 yards to 145 yards. It has 3 sizes, and I think this pattern is just absolutely adorable. I think it's just a perfect one to take with you on a trip because it's really small. It has some details, but not too many. It's mostly stockinette, and I think this is a really cute pattern. Okay, so this next pattern is actually another one that I have knitted before. It is the Rose Petal Bandana by Dagmar Tamura. I hope I'm saying that name correctly. It is a free pattern. It calls for fingering weight yarn, and it says that it calls for 219 yards to 328 yards. I absolutely enjoyed knitting this pattern when I knitted it, and it knits up fairly fast, but it has enough detail where it keeps your attention. And once again, I think it's another good one for a trip where you kind of want to focus on it, but you don't want to focus on it too much. This is a really cute pattern. I think it's a good one to wear when your hair needs to be washed, but you don't have time to wash it, or you're going to like the beach or the farmer's market. It's just a really cute bandana. Okay, so I think this next one is really cute, and I kind of want to knit it this summer as well, even though it's not on my spring and summer knitting plans. I just think it's really cute. It's Claudine by Claudine Guerin. It is a free pattern. It calls for a light fingering weight yarn. It does not have how many yards they use because it says unique to size, so I think it's kind of one of those patterns that you decide on the size. I'm not 100% sure on that, but it is a really cute pattern. I think it would be really cute to knit in a really kind of bright color and wear it with like a t-shirt and shorts. I feel like it's one of those projects that you wouldn't really think of summer when you first see it, but I think you could make it really cute for summer. Okay, so this next one is actually one I've been wanting to knit for a while. It is the Chunky Knit Shrug by Chelsea Arthur, also known as the Groovy Guava. It is a $6 pattern. It calls for a super bulky weight yarn, and it says that it calls for 120 yards to 180 yards. It ranges from an extra small to a 2X. I just think this is a really cute pattern. I've been wanting to knit it for a while, so I'm kind of planning towards the end of the summer maybe to pick this one up. But this one I feel like would be good if you are going somewhere where you do kind of want to have something on your shoulders and stuff like that, but you don't want to wear a sweater or you don't want to wear a jacket. I just think this one is so cute. Okay, so this next one is actually one that I've knitted fairly recently and is one of my favorite projects. It is the Dahlia Drawstring Bag by Brianna Mason, also known as Woolbird. It is a free pattern that calls for an Aran weight yarn, and it calls for 197 yards. I really like this pattern. I'm using mine as a project bag, and I love the little flowers on the front. It just adds this cute little detail, and I feel like it's perfect for the summer and spring, just the little flowers. It's just so cute, but this is one of my favorite projects that I've done. Okay, so this next one is a really cute kerchief. It is the Penelope kerchief by Linnea Nyman. I might be saying that wrong. It is another free pattern. It calls for a DK weight yarn, and it calls for 87 yards to 126 yards, and it has sizes for kids as well as adults. I just think this is a really cute kerchief. Once again, another great one for going to the beach or going to a farmer's market. Just a really cute kerchief. Okay, so this is the last pattern for accessories, and it is another cute bandana. It is the Britney Bandana by Passive Royal. It is a free pattern. It is an untested pattern, but reading through it, it is really well written. It calls for DK weight yarn, and it calls for 93 yards to 120 yards. I think this is a really cute pattern. It's just a simple garter with a really pretty edge. I think it's really pretty. Okay, so this next section is just socks. I know that they are accessories, but because I had a few patterns for socks, I thought I would just give it its own section. So starting off is the Rosy Ruffles socks by Drops Design. This is a free pattern. It calls for sport weight yarn and it calls for 372 yards and it has three different sizes. I think these are really cute socks. I love the ruffle and I just think it's an adorable pattern, so I just wanted to add it. Okay, so this next sock, I think it is perfect for summer. It is the Midsummer Dancers sock by Sari Nordlund. This pattern costs $5.82. It calls for a fingering weight yarn and it calls for 301 yards to 328 yards. It says that it has two sizes, but the length of the sock can be adjusted. And I think this is a good sock. I think it would for summer, I think it would be very airy and it's a very delicate, dainty sock. Once again, it kind of has that ruffle at the top. I think that's so cute. But this is a really cute sock. Okay, so this next pair of socks is another really cute lacy pair of socks. It is the Petal Drop Socks by Florence Miller. It costs $4.85 and it calls for a fingering weight yarn. And it says that it calls for 273 yards to 437 yards. It has two sizes, and I think once again, it's another cute lacy sock. It will be airy. I love all the detail. I think if you were to take this with you on a trip, it would be able to hold your attention, but it seems to also have a lot of repeats, so it would probably be one of those that you learn pretty quickly and just can be there knitting and working on this pattern. I think these are a really cute pair of socks. I've worked some of Florence's patterns before, and I have really enjoyed them. I think they're really well written, and this is another really cute one. Okay, so the next two patterns are actually by the same designer, Stone Knits, and they're both colorwork patterns, and they're actually pattern sets. So the first one is Charlotte's Flower Garden. It is $9.59 and calls for fingering weight yarn, and it comes in three sizes, and it calls for 394 yards to 437 yards. I think these are really cute. I think they're really cute for the summer, especially being like the bright, happy flower colors. I think these are really cute. Okay, and this next pattern set by Stone Knits is the Herding Hen Socks. It costs $7.67, calls for a light fingering weight yarn, and calls for 372 yards to 416 yards. It comes in three sizes. I think this one's so cute. I feel like this is also perfect for fall. I love the one with the hens on it, but I also love the one with the little chicks on it. I think this is a really cute set. And I really like these two sets. I think they are perfect for summer. They're both very bright and very happy. I feel like, once again, we all know hens are very popular right now with knitting, and I feel like this is another great example. This one is so cute. Okay, so now moving on to the shirts, tops, and tees. Okay, so this first pattern is one that I have knitted before. It is the Rigmor Tee by PetiteKnit. This pattern costs $7.96. It calls for DK weight yarn and it calls for 750 yards to 1,509 yards. And it ranges from an extra small to a 5XL. And I really like this pattern. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was really cute. The only downside is it was from bottom up, and that was a little stressful, but it really was worth it. It is a cute top. It is one of my favorites. I wear it all the time, but I feel like it's a perfect one for summer because it's very airy, it's very breathable. I think it's really cute. Okay, so this next pattern is actually one that I've also knitted before and wear quite a bit. It is the Vilma top by Gregoria Fibers. This pattern cost $8.73 and it calls for Aran weight yarn and it calls for 547 yards to 984 yards. It comes in 9 sizes. And I think this one's just a really cute one for summer. Once again, I feel like you can put it over a cute t-shirt. I like it with like a cute shirt and a really nice like floral type skirt. I think it's a really cute, delicate, dainty look. But it's a really cute pattern, a lot of fun, and I think it's a perfect one for summer. Okay, so this next top I think is a really cute flowy top. It is the Aiyu Tee by Fiber Tales. It costs $8.75 and calls for a DK weight yarn. It calls for 684 yards to 1,640 yards. It ranges from an extra small to a 5XL. So you have a good range in sizes there. I feel like this is a really cute flowy top. It's a little cropped. I really like the detail on the edge and the tie on the front. I just think that just makes it really look kind of once again dainty and really feminine. I just think it's a really cute top and personally one I really want to knit. Okay, so this next one's actually on my spring and summer knitting plans, and I plan to cast it on fairly soon. This is the Poppy Tee by PetiteKnit. It costs $7.96, calls for sport weight yarn, and it calls for 857 yards to 1,715 yards. It ranges from an extra small to a 5XL, and I think this one's just a really basic t-shirt. I like how the sleeves are done. I think it's really cute. I feel like if you're not really wanting something really lace, I feel like this is a good option. But this is just a really cute top and I can't wait to start this one. Okay, so the next two patterns I'm going to mention together because they're by the same designer, Wan Cheng Phua. I'm sorry if I said that wrong, but they also go by Nitty Gritty SG. The first pattern is the Picnic Folks top, which I have knitted before. It is a free pattern. It calls for worsted weight yarn and it calls for 437 yards to 1,312 yards. It comes in 9 sizes. I think this is a really cute pattern. I did choose the wrong yarn when I first knitted it, so mine's a little wonky, but it's really cute. I still wear it. It's one of my favorite patterns that I've knitted top wise. I think it's a really cute pattern because it's really simple with a really pretty detail on the shoulder. But yes, one of my favorite patterns. Okay, and the next one is the Aiyu Tee. It is another free pattern and it calls for a sport weight yarn and it has 9 different sizes. I love the edging on this one and the sleeves and how flowy they are. I think it's a really cute pattern. I don't know how these patterns are free because I can see how much time and detail is put into them and they're so well written. I love them so much and I really want to knit this one soon. Okay, so the next one is a really cute sleeveless top. It is the Sailor Swift top by Veronika Lindberg, Kuta Vakika. This pattern costs $7.01. It calls for fingering weight yarn and calls for 296 yards to 612 yards. It ranges in sizes from an extra small to a 5X, and I think it's so cute. I love the stripes. I love how the shoulders are because I don't really like the sleeveless tops that are like really thin shoulders personally. I know some people do, and I think those patterns are really cute, but I feel like this one's definitely one that I would personally enjoy. So I really like the stripes. I like how it's done. I love Kuta Vakika's patterns. I think they're really well written. But yeah, this is a really cute pattern. Okay, so this next one's another really cute one with a cute little shoulder detail. It's the Nivéole by Hautzal. I hope I'm saying that right. It is actually another free pattern. It calls for a fingering weight yarn and it calls for 312 yards to 1,597 yards. And it actually ranges from 1 year to a 3XL, so definitely a lot of sizes. I think it's a really cute pattern. I love the detail on the shoulder And personally, I love the color that they chose. I think that's a really pretty color, but super cute. I, once again, just love the shoulder. Okay, this is the last one for this section. It is the Xyris pattern by Audrey Borrego. It is another free pattern. It calls for fingering weight yarn, and it calls for 820 yards to 1,422 yards. It has 7 different sizes. I love how it's kind of just a plain top in the front, but in the back you get this really pretty lace design. So I feel like it would be a really flowy, airy shirt. I think this is a really cute pattern. I think it would be a good one for summer. I love the detail in the back. I just think it's so pretty. It's a pretty lace design. I just, I love it. It looks like leaves. I think it's so cute. Okay, so this next section is a really short pattern, pun not intended. It has a pattern for a pair of shorts and a pattern for a skirt. So the first pattern is the Prairie Rose Shorts by Drops Designs. This is a free pattern and it calls for Aran weight yarn. It calls for 492 yards to 820 yards. The sizes range from a small to a 3XL. And I feel like this pattern, you could probably also adjust the leg to the length that you really want. If you wanted like a longer pair of shorts, you could do so. And I feel like this is a good pattern for like once they're like done and knitted and stuff. Like you could wear them to the beach, you could wear them to the pool. They're just a really cute pair of knitted shorts. I feel like they're just kind of a basic pair of shorts, but I think they're really cute. Okay, so this next one and the last one of this section is the Alicante skirt by Sarah Ottoson. This is a free pattern. It calls for a worsted weight yarn and it calls for 809 yards to 1,531 yards. And it ranges from an extra small to a 4XL. I think this is a really cute skirt. I think it would be a good one for when you are traveling. That's just the vibes I get from it. It's a really cute one. I feel like you could also get a lot of wear out of it in the fall time as well. But this skirt is absolutely adorable. I love the color that they have it as in the pattern. So yeah, I think this is a cute pattern. Okay, so this next section I could have paired with the accessories, but I thought it deserved its own section. It is the shawls. So this first pattern is actually one that I have shown on here before. It is the Garden Tulip Shawl by Afifa. This is a really cute pattern. It is a free pattern and it calls for a sport weight yarn and it calls for 634 yards and it comes in one size. I think this is just an adorable pattern. It's hard to see, but I think it's a good one if you are a beginner that's wanting to get into shawl knitting but also wants to add some like detail to it because it's for the most part garter stitch with some increases, decreases. It teaches you a bunch of different things. I think it's a really cute pattern, very beginner friendly. I am absolutely enjoying it. Okay, so this next one's actually one I am planning to knit. It is the Reiko Shawl by Melanie Berg. It costs $6 and it calls for a lace weight yarn and it calls for 915 yards. I think this one's a really cute lace shawl. I think it's very pretty. I think it would be perfect for summer because it looks so airy and flowy. But it is just a really pretty shawl. Okay, so this next shawl is one that I have knitted before, and it is the Pure Joy Shawl by Joji Locatelli. This pattern costs $6, and it calls for fingering weight yarn, and it calls for 750 yards. I had a lot of fun knitting this one. I will also have a photo up here of the one I knitted. I think it's a really cute pattern. I don't know, I just feel like it's a really summer style shawl. I think it's really pretty. It's a crescent shawl. It's my first crescent shawl that I've ever done. I really enjoy the construction of this one and I think it's a really good pattern. It's really pretty. It's really cute. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so the last pattern of the video is the Goldfish Memory Shawl by Casapinka. This pattern costs $7 and it calls for fingering weight yarn and it calls for 1,200 yards. And I think it's a really cute pattern. It's one that my mom actually wants me to knit for her and we plan to get the yarn for it soon. But once again, I think it's one of those, It just kind of gives me summer vibes, the shawl. It's just a really pretty one. I love all the ones that I've seen from the shawl. It's all really bright and happy colors. I I love how it goes from different sections. I've heard many people say that you just don't get bored with this shawl. I like the idea of it being the goldfish memories and how, it their memory, it lasts 3 seconds. I think that's such a cute idea and I can't wait for the shawl. Well, we've made it to the end of the video and I hope that this video has given you some ideas for some summer projects. I hope you had a lot of fun watching. I had a lot of fun making this video. Please comment down below what you were working on or some plans for the summer. Or if you've knitted any of these patterns and which one of these patterns was your favorite from this video. But I had a lot of fun making this video. I hope you had a lot of fun watching. I hope to see you next time and good night.